Welcome back to the channel, Optimus. It is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023, and apologies for being a couple of minutes late today. I've been running about 15 minutes behind all this morning. So my apologies, guys. Sometimes it just happens. But we do make an effort to be here every day. So I guess hopefully that counts for something. Know what I mean? All right. I have not looked at the charts at all today. Like I said, just been running about 15 minutes behind all day, like literally like exactly 15 minutes. And hopefully we can get that back on pace. I do have to get off at about 9 o'clock today, so I only have about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And then before I gotta jump off here. But yeah, it's all good. We should be live. Let's double check and verify that everything live, all good. Let's see. Music stopped for some reason. I'm sure y'all don't even have music yet. Let's look at the screen. I gotta figure out a way where I can just share it all the time. There is like one way to do it, but it's kind of a pain. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're live. Just verifying. Oh, there you are. I guess I could have just checked the comments and then I would have just known. Yeah, dude, I was up all night tossing and turning too, man. Like I don't know. I was waking up like every 20 minutes, just like tossing and turning. I was super uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know, back felt stiff or something. Anywho, let's go ahead and dive on in. I have not looked at anything at all. I did see at like 3 o'clock this morning, when I was tossing and turning, that things were falling down. And that makes a lot of sense. 3-minute chart's been pulling back some. It looks like we're trend reversing though. So we did bounce off a low here of 41.50, and we ripped up all the way up to 41.72. Kind of missed this rip here, a little bummed about that, but this has been going on since about 5:30. What's the volume like today? It seems pretty high. I'm looking at the 3-minute chart. We get on a per minute. So they call this a per minute chart. Yeah, that'll work. Why not? Volume seems okay. It's like it's kind of all over the board. See some candles that are like 3 and 6,000. I see others at like 1,500. Looks kind of choppy. What do y'all think? It looks choppy to me. Like it's definitely like in bullish form. I think we kind of missed a lot of this bullish action. I wish I had got here on time today because there definitely was a nice bounce here off of VWAP. Yeah, that was a big rip. Let's take a look at this on the 5-minute side. So 5 minutes actually on approach for 5,200 cross. This is pulling down to the 200 on the 5-minute side, so 67. Wonder if we bounce right here. But that's a lot of sell-off this last couple of minutes. Are we headed into a head and shoulders pattern? I think it's also a potential as well. Look at these TTM pops. This is like every couple, like, I don't know. This is every half hour. Yeah, it's like pretty close to about every half an hour. There's just a TTM pop. Weird. All right. So I have a little bit of an idea on the day. It looks pretty choppy, so I'm gonna try to be very cautious today. Yeah, I was I was up several times in the same hour actually. Yeah. I got like a whole like allergy station here. You can take the sick kid out of the hospital. Can you take the hospital out of the sick kid? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the markets have actually held up as well as they have, considering that like we're in the face of what looks to be one of the worst recessions in the last 100 years. I've actually been kind of surprised at how much, like how well the markets have held up. But it seems like almost artificial, right? Because like there was just so much inflation and so much money, if you will, added to the money supply. Liquidity, really, I guess, to a degree, um, but it like the numbers almost seem like artificially high to me. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of think that really, I'm looking at like June. June has been, and I've talked about this since last summer. Um, and you guys can go back on the streams and you can look it up if you want. But really, I think it's like June 2023 that I think that we're really going to see one of the biggest drops. And through that summer, like I think that we're going to have an incredibly bearish summer, and I think that that is going to very much set the stage for what is to come in the market and in other aspects of the earth that we're living in. Let's see, 4163 on the 200 and 4167 on the 50. Take the range of this 60. I'm still taking the temperature of the market. This is about 4 ticks. Okay. 67.50, 68.50. So 4 ticks seems pretty consistent. So I'll probably stick with a 3 tick. 3 tick move. 877 is where my trailing max is. On the 20-second chart, we're approaching a cyan switch, and 9's above the 12. So we might get a pullback to about 69. I'll try and get an entry off of like, well, there's that cyan switch already. I was kind of hoping for a little pullback, but there is 4170 resistance. Look at this drop. This drop here was over 20 seconds. And this was 3,000 or so contracts. That pushed the price down from 70.5 all the way down to 67. So it's a 12 tick drop right there on a blue candle. I guess I could have taken that trade off of that doji there. It looks like we could have got like 3 to 4 ticks on that, but I really just, it was still kind of taking the temperature. So there's a lot of like pretty big swings in the market right now, just today, really. Okay, so I'm gonna start by calling this one here the first move. Look at the way these are swinging. Like there's so many cup and handles. Like we're doing one right now. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, this is on the 1 minute chart. Okay. I don't know. It kind of looks. There's definitely some bearish action, that's for sure. Like, there's definitely a lot of like contract dumps happening. putting a level at 70. I think 70 is going to be a pretty strong resistance zone. Because this one really was like 71.50 here. So I'm going to call that 70. I think that we're moving into, just given the current chart pattern, not taking into effect all the different moving averages and everything like that, but the current chart pattern seems as if we're going to fall down to like 65 area. We'll see if it finds support here and bounce again, but it looks like we're on approach for some downward moves. I should have shorted right here. Like on this drop, not where it's at right now. Although it's not too bad of a short. I'm just gonna wait, and find something that I really like. I think that it's more important for me to be patient right now. I get that there are a lot of different trade opportunities, and everyone's probably seeing the charts differently and being like, "Oh no, that was a move," But I gotta go with what I know best on for myself. This is bouncing pretty good off of 68. Flipped all the way up to 70. 70 has been this line in the sand. I don't mind a pullback here and then a pop off that.
Order filled.
Entered long at 69.50 and looking for 3 ticks just up to 70 and a quarter. I'm in Elite Trader funding right now. So I'm up to 70.75. It's kind of sketchy here. I dropped it down to a 2-tick trade, trying to get out at 70. I don't like this red on the TTM. And it's really kind of having a hard time on this bounce here. The 9 EMA is, I'm hoping that we get a bounce off the 9 EMA and basically just another test of 70. This is really a lot more resistance than I was expecting right here. I'm gonna put it down at
order filled.
Okay, I'm not gonna do nothing because it already filled. It's done. I didn't love that trade, but I am grateful that it did go up. And I think that we could have traded that a little bit better. But I mean, this is kind of a bit of a choppy market. Like I said, I'm gonna go as slow as I can today. You see 70 and a quarter has rejected several times. I'm glad I didn't keep it at the full 3 ticks though. I'm glad I dropped it down to 2 ticks because it very well could have just come up here and tapped my order and not filled. So I like it. I'd like for it to roll through the order like that. Puts our trailing max at 936. I got caught in a drop yesterday on the 100K account and really mess up the account pretty badly. So there's still enough opportunity to come back from it. But there's only about $66 available in it. So being as that's the case, I need to trade it like super cautiously and really just go for like, I don't know, probably one contract and maybe just like 1 to 2 ticks. I would say 1 to 3. And sort of build it back up, go slow with it. So I don't really want to trade that account in this market right now. I need something with a little bit more trailing drawdown available with it. Yeah, you know what's weird is that like it's like low volume until it's not. So it's like I think one of the things I've always found really like weird and pretty challenging in the market is just watching days where it's putting in like huge amounts of volume, but the price doesn't move hardly at all. That's always really weird to me. Like you can see that the volume is not that low. I mean, like this one's 3,000, this one's 8,000, this one's 5,500, this one's 7,300. Even this doji here is 2,500. And then oddly, this green here is only 1,500, and then 13, and then 28, and then 26. So average volume, so the current bar is at 442. The last bar was at 2807. The pre-market volume, where's my average volume? Average is at 3,113. And the average volume on the 1 minute is 679. Finally got this breakout zone here, broke above 70. So we're approaching the high up there, 4172. I know that's not the official high, but it's the high of the day, like the actual daytime. 7850 is the official high. So I wonder if we're just going to get another drop like this, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're still continuing to scale upward. This almost looks like it was its own little ABCD pattern. It's easier to see on the 1 minute side. A, B, C, D. So I guess what I'd be looking for then is a pullback to as low as 70. Anything below 70 I wouldn't want to take. But I guess I'd be looking for a pullback here and then a bounce and then a test of like 73, 74 area. Jump over to Apex. This is ETF. This is Apex. Let's see. Apex is at 13.99 on our trailing max drawdown. Okay, experiencing some fall down in this area. I'm going to take one in the sim and I'm going to put it at 5 ticks. And join the bid right here. So the idea behind this trade here is that we got this ABCD pattern, so that this will pull back, and if it fills, which it doesn't seem to be. So that was the idea. The exact trade idea basically was that it would pull back and then fill and then pop out again off that. So it did end up holding that support area, bounced very well on the 9 EMA, on the 20-second side. So we're in long at 71.25 on the sim. There's a flag right there. Sometimes the flags are a little bit more challenging to see on the 20. So look at that. Look at that. That's why I'm being cautious today. Y'all see that? Look at that. And it's still going, and it's probably not going to let me out of this trade. Yeah, it's not. It's just going to let me just keep on losing. That's so weird. It should just let you out. It sold all the way at 69.25. It's trying to like give me help. It was a $300 loss on that dump. That's what I'm talking about, is these contract dumps. These types of things, like the bears are out and they're out in force, and you know, I just think that's I think that we all should be very cautious as traders. I think that one of the biggest things that we need to watch out for is these kind of like rug pull type situations. I know that's not the definition of a rug pull, but I kind of see it as a rug pull either way. You know, even though it's not the official definition of a rug pull, but it feels like one, doesn't it? You know, when they kind of like gradually bring the price up and then dump it all down at once. I'm just grateful I wasn't inside of an evaluation. That's why I took it in the sim, because I just kind of felt like, hey, this is kind of a risky one, and I wanted to actually test it and see what happens on a movement like that. I still have, so I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I've had a pretty decent amount of success with it. However, that doesn't mean that there's not room to improve. There's always room to improve, and I think I'll be learning for the rest of my life on this, and that's okay with me. Mm. Dude, Yogi tea makes some of the best tea. Just in my opinion. $200 max loss. Closed up shop. That's good, man. I'm glad you made some in your real account. I haven't had a chance to trade my real account. Like, honestly, like I'm doing it like once a week. Sometimes it seems right now. And I don't know, for the few trades that I've taken this year in my real account, they've all been pretty good. I only took like one loss so far this year, actually, which is not bad. I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. But I've also only taken like one trade a week. So I've been taking very few trades in my real account. Mainly just because I've been trying to earn this funding. And I've been really focused there. Okay, so I think that we may be on approach for a downward move. So we rejected that high there, that 72 area, and you can see here on the 20-second chart, the 200 SMA is well on the approach to the upside. They are still diverged pretty well, but I think that we are approaching this crossover sooner than we might think. I would say 8:30 at the latest. And then that likely will give a downward push towards a VWAP, at least. At least that's my thoughts on it. I'm going to jump over to some longer term charts and get a little bit more perspective here. On a longer term chart, I have less to say about that, but it kind of looks like we're on the approach for like a almost like a Head and Shoulders type situation. It's not the exact setup, and it's not the exact look of it. And honestly, like when you look at this looks like it's its own channel here, like right here and here, like there. Oh, what? I did vertical channels. Can you not do horizontal channels? I guess I don't need to. Just do price level. But it kind of looks like it's on this like channel here. I feel as if like we're gonna come down. We're probably gonna test this 50 EMA, and if we fail that test, then we may start getting some decline. The 200 SMA on the 1 minute chart though is a long way off from the VWAP. 20-second chart's a little bit of a different story, and if we get that fall down there, we may only fall down for a little bit before coming right back up. I've been looking at 67 for support. What y'all think? Yeah, it looks like that was my problem yesterday. Like we had some really great trades yesterday, but then we had some really like bad trades as well, just like one or the other. And yesterday's uncertainty, if you will, seems to be carrying over in today. Like it's very choppy. Yesterday was also very choppy. Yesterday looked almost identical to this, just on the downside. So like if this was yesterday right here, you can see how sideways that is. Like looking at it on a longer term, you can see it's almost flat. It's not the same if you like stretch it out, but the range yesterday was super low, super close. and there just was not, I don't know, it was a very weird day yesterday. And it kind of feels the same today. I'm gonna go out to 15-minute chart. All right, this looks interesting. So 15-minute chart actually looks pretty interesting. If you take a look at this, so we sold off very heavily off that 41.98 from a couple days ago. What day was this on? 418, so that was yesterday. Okay, so we sold off very heavily from yesterday, right? And then I'm gonna remove some of these old drawings, anything from yesterday. Let's get rid of them. All right, so we sold off heavily from yesterday. We ended up getting a downward cross here at around midnight, and on the 5200 cross on the 15-minute chart. We continue to sell off very heavily on there, and we find these lows off around 4150, and then it really starts to turn around here off these lows, and you can see we're actually on the 15-minute chart getting cyan movement, and then we're on approach for a 50-200 cross on the 15-minute chart. And if you look at this is a 15-minute bull flag. I feel like maybe what we may want to be doing is trying to trade some of these very like much longer term charts on a day like today. Because if you really look at this, we're actually running into resistance at the 200 simple moving average on the 15. We're dropping below it slightly, but like as far as the resistance area goes, but it kind of does feel like we're doing that, and we're stacking up to on the TTM on the 15-minute chart. So heck with it. I'm going to go with like a 12-tick trade, and I'm going to look for an entry, and I'm doing this on the sim where I'm taking this kind of risk, okay? I'm not taking this kind of risk in my evaluation. I'm taking this as a test, okay? That's the intention of this, is to test this theory. And the theory is that we can anticipate this 15-minute breakout here for a move toward the upside. And I think potentially even a move towards like 80, but when that happens, I think it's going to be a long way out. So we're here at the 8 o'clock candle still on the 15-minute chart. So we still have another minute, and then we'll get another candle. But you can see this flag form here, and you can see the 50 is on approach for the 200 moving average there. So we're in at $71. We're going to let that sit and we're just gonna let it ride. I have a lot of room available as far as equity goes in terms of my simulation account. Plus, it's my sim. It's not any of my real accounts, so we can test this, and we can test it safely because we're not putting any real money or any accounts on the line. So that's why we're taking this trade, and that's why we're taking this as a test. All right, whether I win or whether I lose, I don't really care. I'm after the data. That's, to me, that's the win. So, and if it so happens to play out and I happen to be right, then to me that's the win-win. So that's my approach on this. So I'm essentially waiting for a move up to 74, which is the upper band of this VWAP here. I think it'll go higher. I think it would end up going to like 75 or even 78, and potentially a test of 80. But we're still a ways out from that. We should have an 815. Here's the 815 candle. Okay, 815 candle opening higher at 71.75 and continuing its push on the TTM as well from 7.2 to 8.4. So those are my thoughts there for the longer term. Yeah, you're probably correct on that, actually. All right, the concept of this trade is that it's, well, I already explained it, but basically we got this bull flag here on the 15-minute chart. I'm going to jump over to my evaluation, which is running into resistance there at 72 again. And we certainly spent a lot of time evaluating that. And so I think that we may get another dump here along 72. So our sim trade's back at break even. I think it's going to be there for a while. That's perfectly fine. 200's down here at 60.7, 40, and this one's at 70.2. 3 contracts, 3 ticks. Keep going the wrong way, though. That's what I mean to do. Like, difference of holding control or holding shift. And I still haven't, like, I only discovered this a couple of days ago, maybe like a week ago, and I still haven't built the habit of which one goes which yet. I'm getting there. It's getting faster and easier, but there's still like a little bit here and there. We've only taken one trade on our simulators today, or on our evaluations. Gratefully, it was a positive trade. So we're up 58 in our 50K challenge on Elite Trader Funding. By the way, guys, if you guys don't know what Elite Trader Funding is or Apex, basically these are prop firms. And what they do is, I'll pop one up on the screen here. What they do is they give you access to a very high amount of equity. So you can get access to like $50,000 or access to like even up to like $300,000. The most common one that people do is the 10K, but I personally think 25K and higher are actually better deals, even though the price may look very different. The reason why is because, like, when I look at these, yes, I have access to the liquidity of 10K. That doesn't give me access to a $10,000 account. So what I do when I look at these, I look at the drawdown. So like this is a $1,000 account, and I kind of look at it that way. Because if I lose more than $1,000, then I fail and I don't get the opportunity to get funded. So what these do, these prop firms, is you essentially pay them a monthly fee. They give you access to a lot of liquidity, and through that liquidity, they give you the ability to build up an account, and they keep a portion of the profits, while you also keep a much larger portion of the profits for doing the trading. It's actually one of the deals of a lifetime when it comes to trading, because it would, if you were to put $25,000 of your own capital up, That'd be $25,000 of your own money, number one. And number two, you very well could easily lose $3,000 or $4,000 in a day or something like that. It's a lot easier to lose, $150 or something like that. And typically these are on sale. But it's a lot easier to lose $150 account that you pay on a monthly basis and just re-up and have access to it next month than it is to lose $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 in the futures market. So this is actually one of the best ways that you can manage your risk. And personally, I like the 25K and on up. The reason why, if you look at this trailing max drawdown on 10K, it's $1,000. The 25K gives you $1,500. The profit target is at $1,250, but on the 25K, it's only $1,500. So you get $500 more in trailing max, but you only need to make $250 more, and you get access to 3 more contracts. So just some things to think about. If you guys have never heard of a prop firm, they are, in my opinion, worth checking out. I think they are kind of the deal of a lifetime when it comes to earning funding in the futures market. Also, there is a link in the description for both of these. One here is Apex Trader Funding. It's the other one I'm working on. And there's actually a 90%, yeah, you heard me, 90% off discount right now on this particular company. There is a link and a coupon code in the description so that you can get that 90% off. But if you look at this, you can get access to a 50K account for $18.70 on the Tradeovate side. There is, just make sure that if you want to trade in Tradeovate or Ninja Trader, that you choose the plan that is associated with it. Just make sure it says Tradeovate compatible if you want Tradeovate, or TradingView compatible if you want TradingView. These ones sell for slightly more, but still, you can get access to $50,000 for $18.70 for your first month, and then your second month goes to 80% off. So you still save a lot of money, and allows you to trade 10 contracts. So I think it's probably one of the best deals out there right now in terms of actually getting access to the futures market. The deals always come when I'm broke. Man. Tiny, I think it's one of those things, like, you almost need to plan well in advance for it. I remember, I grew up in really intense poverty. I'm not gonna claim I was the most poorest person in the world, because obviously there were people that had it way worse than me. But I remember when I was 18, living off of $2 a week in terms of rice, because I would treat myself and I would buy one bowl of rice per week for $1.86, and the rest of it was living off about $10 worth of groceries at that time. But it's just kind of the way it is, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. I knew a ton of people in Section 8. It was just that was just the jam, and that's where it came from. And so, I can tell you firsthand, coming up out of that sort of Section 8 area of life. I was not in Section 8, just to be clear. But I had family members that were, and a lot of people that I knew that were living in a lot of those types of situations, as well as myself. Not in Section 8, but like I said, I knew people that were more poor than I was, but I was, compared, it's one of those things, down the street, when you make the comparison, we were blessed. And so in any case, I know firsthand that changing the psychology matters so ridiculously much. That is the main thing in terms of getting out of being broke, getting out of poverty. The psychology comes first, and psychology will come before the money. And going from that to I've had several businesses now that have earned multiple 6 figures throughout my life, and also in my first business that was earning 6 figures, I was terrible with the money. I was awful with it. I would find things to spend it on that I convinced myself that my business needed. And a lot of times it just wasn't there wasn't value there. And so it's really, really like getting out of that is it's a psychological game more than anything else. So just something to consider. It's one of the reasons why I keep the psychology of money behind me, because it's to me it's a reminder that like, hey, you know what, like it's all about shifting that mindset. And also too, just remember this, that like our brains, like as plastic as they are, uh plasticity I should say, because they're obviously not plastic, they're organic, but our brains, as malleable as they are, uh we still often revert back to our original coding. And however we were coded in the first 7 years, and I say coding because human brains act almost identical to a computer program. um and we almost always revert back to whatever training we got before we were 7 years old. And it's very consistent, and unless we take extraordinarily conscious steps towards moving past that, we're often very much doomed to repeat it. And often, even after we do that, we can still repeat it. And so that's one of the reasons why I keep the psychology of money in the background, is just to sort of remind me that, like, hey, you know what? Like, you need to remember what you've learned and remember where I came from. um I think it's important to take the hood everywhere that you like, everywhere you go, take the hood with you, but also be able to move on past it from your own mind. It's really, really important. And one of the main questions that I used to get asked a lot by my coaching students was like, okay, well, that's great, I can move on in my mind, but how am I supposed to move on when what I see in my mind is not the same as what I see in my bank account? um and what I can tell you is that there's sort of this like shift that begins to happen, where if you continue to do something long enough while doing all the other things that you're supposed to do in your life, keeping your house clean and just all these like other little things, keeping your car maintained, everything that you could possibly think of, uh, that you would be like, wow, that person's on the ball. If you could do all of that while also growing a skill, while also developing a business or developing an audience, or anything of that nature, and keeping your side hustle growing and optimizing, you're going to eventually see a shift, and it'll look and feel just like a crossover does in trading. So it'll look like this, like where it's like you see all this like failure, and it's just like, it just keeps going down and down and down. You're like, things are just never gonna change. And then this like crossover happens, and then it's like boom, you get this massive growth. And so life and psychology, especially psychology of money, often works very much that way. So just some thoughts on that aspect of things. Popping up a little bit over that 200 moving average. I'm wondering if we're going to get that rejection that I spoke of. And I'm going to check in on this trade here. This trade's actually down quite a bit. 7.1 to 7.7. We'll have a new candle at 8:30. It's in about 2 minutes. We might pop off of it, or it might just rip straight down. Because also around that same time, around 8:30, we're likely to get a downward cross on this. So I'm gonna cut this one in the sim. It was a fun test, but ultimately didn't work out. I think that this move is a ways out, and we'll probably get some failures in between, and maybe some bounces around 65 as support. Yeah, dude, that's so funny, man. I've gotten like 3 fake pawns, like fake pawn friend requests. I get like all these fake friend requests in Discord. I actually just stopped accepting friends in Discord unless like it's somebody I've had actual conversations with. So like on Discord, I only accept friend requests that are people that I have been conversing with for a while, and then after that, then I will go directly to the chat that that I've been having conversations with them, and then send them a friend request from there. It's amazing to me how many scammers are on Discord, and I hope Discord does something about it because it's getting worse and worse. And so I really hope Discord does something about it. I don't know what they can do about it because that's a very big challenge to overcome. Uh, and it's probably not a very easy one either, but I hope they do something. If they can find some solutions, that'd be awesome. This is still stacking on that 15-minute side. Doing the bid right here. Looking to get in at 69 and a quarter. Okay, got in
Order
there.
filled.
I hope I don't get a drop down. I'm just looking to get out at 70. This is in Apex. Kind of dropping down on me. I'm at the risk level right now. So I was trying to take it off this flag here with the cyan switch. 9 was above 12, but looks like it didn't work out. So I'm going to cut that.
Order filled.
Did pop back up. First trade in Apex is a red one, down 234. Gratefully, we are green on elite side. I guess I shouldn't have taken it. Basically, just based off of this approach here on the 5200. But with this forming that little flag there, the 912 and the 1226 crossover, as well as the cyan, I think I had enough indicators that this was going to pop up. Yeah, man, scammers hard at work, dude. Trying to get you that Bitcoin. I will personally train you if you just send me 3 Bitcoin. I think my scale of Bitcoin is just like messed up because I've had like several Bitcoin in my life now. I think I've had 3 total, actually. In total of amount of Bitcoin that I've had. And of course, I traded a lot of it away and sold a lot of it too early and all that type of stuff. I still have Bitcoin, and my hope is actually just like even if I was to get back to 1 Bitcoin would be awesome. But I've just been like kind of trading my way back into a full Bitcoin. There's a 5200 cross on the downside. Watch this just like pop here off 67. But 67 was that the area that I was saying. That's the 9 EMA on the 15-minute chart. So 67 very well could act as support. Even though we got this 50 downward cross, and even though we got the red here, you can see we're still kind of popping back up. And so, how many ticks did I lose on this? 69 and a quarter, down to 67. So that's 6 ticks. 1. Oh no, is that 10 ticks? I think it is 10 ticks. No, it is 6. I was right the first time. Adding an extra dollar to things. So this is 8:30. So really, we got that drop at 8:30. That was what I got caught in. Kind of holding 67 area. I guess if this is going to continue to go long, I want it to hold 67. I'm more short bias right now just because of this crossover. But when I go out to the longer time frames, it looks more long bias. Even the 1 minute side still looks slightly long. Nah, I don't know. I actually think it. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with this. That's how it felt yesterday too. Like it was very difficult for me to judge direction and trend, and therefore kind of be more confident in which direction things are kind of going. I'm wondering if this will hold support here, but we are on approach with this 50 or this 200 crossing the VWAP. It really just does look like these are gonna fall down soon. All right, so this fell, then popped up to the 12 EMA, basically the 9 EMA as well, about a tick apart. And then we fell back all the way down to 66. Now we're bouncing off of 66. I'm curious about taking a short right here off that 9 EMA. But the 1 minute candle, I'm not going to do it because the 1 minute side is also putting in a yellow candle. It closed yellow, going from 2.3 to 2.25 to 2.0. So yeah, I'll look to go long, but I'm not going to look to go long yet. I might wait for one more candle. We'll see if this rejects off that 50. It didn't. Okay. Not yet, anyway. 5 seconds on this candle. Okay. New candle now.
Order filled.
I'm in at 68.25. I'm looking to get out at 69. $69 is right on the 200 moving average there on the 20-second chart.
Order filled.
All right, we did get that trade. We're still down $130.50. We did make back $103 on that loss of 234 that we took. So, a little pop there. The reason why I wasn't so adamant about shorting is that for the last 2 days or so, we've been getting sort of these like crossovers to the downside, and then they sort of fail for about, like the chart will fail for a few minutes, and then it crosses right back up, and that's kind of what it looks like is happening here. So my thing was that on the 15-minute chart here, on TOS side, it looked like it was still on that approach and still stacking. This might be the end of this upward area, but 41.70 now, and TTM stacking pretty decently on the on red yellow, and 9's now above 12, approaching the 12.26 crossover. This is actually looking pretty solid. There's a new 50 200 crossover inbound. I'm gonna wait for that though. I might miss out on some trades as a result of waiting on it, but I think it'll be worth it. I'm also gonna only stick with 3 ticks today because I just haven't, I don't know, I guess I just haven't seen the full range that I really want to see. So I want to actually see this pull back down to about 70. and then bounce off 70. So I want to see another drop of about 4 more ticks. And then go from there. This is very close to a 5200 cross. 35 is still below the 50. 9 and 12 have now gotten above the 200, so that's looking good. Did not drop down to 70. Basically, I want to see a drop down to this 9 EMA or maybe the 12 EMA, which are only a tick apart. So, and then bounce off that. That's what I'm after. That's what I'm looking for. No crossover yet. This is a pretty decent pullback. There's a pullback to 70 and a quarter for a second there. All right, we got a fresh cyan candle here on the 1 minute side. Little dark blue candle there. No crossover yet. So on the 1 minute side, we'd be looking for a break over 71.50. Still no crossover yet. They're like literally on the same spot. Ten seconds left on the 1 minute and the 20-second chart. So that one ended on a doji on this flag here. 9's above the 12, 12.26 crossover in the 1 minute, and TTM stack from 0.5 to 0.9. Not much stack on there. Grateful that I didn't take a trade through here, although this was a decent little move. So there's the crossover right there. And on a doji, I'm going to look to get in right here. No fill. I'm going to join the bid. Still no fill. It keeps putting me at 70 and a half because we're just not getting a fill. Come on.
Order filled.
I got filled up there at 71.50. I moved it up because I was trying to actually capture this move, and I just couldn't get an entry.
Order filled.
I took that with 1 tick. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of that move. I'm grateful that I got out though with that. Basically, it tapped my sell order twice, didn't fill it, and so I just cut it and made a tiny little profit. Down 102 on the day in Apex. Still up 150 in this trade. Big upwick on that, so I'm going to cut this candle or cut this trade. Made 112.50 on that. Looks like it might continue to pop. 1.0 to 1.3 to 1.7 on the current candle. It's not a lot of momentum. It's only like 0.4. And usually I'm looking for like 0.7 or higher to really have the momentum that I'm seeking. Let's take a look at the 3 minute side. This is going to be another test of these highs. I think a lot of people are going to be sketchy here just because of the drops that we've experienced. GTM on the 3 minute going from 0.2 to 0.5. And we'll have a new one at 8:45. 8:45, we might get a big push. Volume pushes happen a lot at 8:45. 5 minute candle is cooling on the TTM. Going from 3.7 to 3.6, so not a big cool off there. And actually, 5-minute candles on a 5200 approach. 1 second, y'all. All right, I'm back. All right, we're here at 8:45 now. We've got new 5-minute candle, which is pulling in red and continuing to decline on the 5-minute CTM, going from 8.47 to 8.12. Switching back to the 1, which is also getting a cooling candle. So it looks as if we have a 5-minute breakout inbound. But when I say 5-minute breakdown, obviously I don't mean in 5 minutes. I mean on the 5-minute chart. 3-minute chart is kind of breaking down a little bit. This whole section here is either like a really long flag or that's that for the movement of the day. But it looks like there's a breakout eventually happening. Particularly on the 5-minute side. The other ones have already got the crossover, the moving average crossovers. This one's on approach for moving average cross right here. 50 EMA is at 64, while the 200 is at 67. And getting a little pop up there. Saw a flash of cyan for a second. All right, popping back over here to the Apex account. Trying to see the eagle pattern. An eagle pattern reversal. I have not heard of that one. Pon, do you have an image? I was looking for an image of it. I was trying to find an image of that pattern that you mentioned. Look at that rip. Wow. Look at that dip. Wow. The 50 and the 200 are very close together. Honestly, like, I don't know, 5-minute candle looks like 5-minute chart looks better. I still think this is bullish. Like, I just don't know how long it's going to take in order for it to play. And even then, I think that we only have room up to 75. Nice below 12. Choppy day, man. Gratefully, we're green in our ETF account. I think that's all I'm going to trade there. Just going to focus on that account a little bit at a time. Apex, I basically need 1 to 2 trades to get green. But chart is very untrustworthy right now. There's a little tiny 5-minute flag. It's been forming for the last 20 minutes or so. But it's been forming on declining TTM while moving average crossover becomes closer and closer inbound. But also at the same time, the 26 moving average is also coming closer inbound too. So candles look so much bigger when you're zoomed in. Okay, this looks kind of like a little bullish to me. Like we might get a break above 70 area. Still feel like waiting because I don't have the crossovers, and TTM is kind of in between. I don't know how long I should wait though. Looks like right here. Try to get an entry at 70.5. Not getting it.
Order filled.
All right, we got the entry at 70.5. Trying to get a move up to 71.25. But I may potentially look to get out at 71.
Order filled.
All right, we got that at 71.25, and we got green. Yeah, green $1.50. $1.50 in my pocket. Yeah. Hey, it's a hell of a lot better though than being red, $234. Just grateful to be back green. That was a pretty nice trade though too. I thought I took this trade based off the 9 and 12 crossing above each other with the approach on the 1226 crossover here, which did end up happening as we approached into the next candle. And then the other reason I took that trade was also the cyan switch down here. Now, when I entered, it was still on this yellow, or at least that's where I was trying to. This thing ended up closing on a cyan, but when I took it, it was yellow. And so I was banking on that cyan switch there as well. So that's why I ended up taking that trade. And again, I'm only going for 3 ticks today. if the day wasn't as choppy as it was, I'd probably be going more for like 5 or 7. But with the choppiness on the day, I don't feel confident going for moves that size. Just checking in with y'all. By the way, make sure y'all like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. We are kind of just hovering in the like 330s range in subscribers. We can bump that up to like 350 or 400. That'd be really awesome. And also, too, guys, if you guys got friends, man, that want a place where they can come and chill, talk about futures or entrepreneurship or mindset or any of that type of stuff, send them our way. Share the channel. Basically, sideways, slight downtrend, trading followed by a big red, then big green. Yeah, a pick would be awesome because I mean that'd be really really useful in understanding this because this is very very different movement than I'm used to trading. You can certainly see an ABCD right there on the chart. And really, it's like zooming out. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that trade because, I mean, honestly, it was just an ABCD. What was I thinking? Anybody ever see that episode of The Simpsons where Apu starts lacing into this dude about Jurassic Park? And like how unrealistic it is and all this stuff, and then like it like flashes scene and then the person looks all like haggard and they've just been hearing it, and then Apu at the end is just like, what were you thinking? And then he's just like, oh, I mean, thank you, come again. Like, I don't know why I thought about that, but it just, oh, I know why I thought about it. Because I asked myself, what was I thinking when I took this ABCD pattern and tried to go long right here? Coming up, hitting that resistance there, around 72. All right, I'll check Discord. Started from the bottom, food coupon. Yeah, that's hella funny. Started from the bottom now, yeah. Started from the bottom and the whole team here. All right, so this is the eagle pattern here. So it looks to me, just taking a look at this, that it's this sort of like this rip down followed by this rip up, and essentially this doji here is your entry point. If you're going long, otherwise, I would imagine your entry point is actually like right in this zone right here for a short. I can see that. I always just called it the dip and rip. There's a nice rip there that we didn't take. Big rip up followed by big rip down, as is the theme of the day. So I said we have room up to about 75. This came up to 74. 74 and a quarter, but really 74. Now what's going to be interesting is this going to be our new area of support? Like, is 71, 72 area going to be our new zone? 5-minute chart, putting together a cyan candle finally after all this movement. And we're at 8:55 area, so we're 1 minute away from the 9 o'clock candle. So we looking for a 9 o'clock volume push. I also need to go a little early today. Got some stuff to take care of. Pulling back down to about 73 and a quarter. So I guess this would be the eagle right here, right? Your entry would be off this big flash down. So big flash down and then buy and then ride it up. I'm guessing that's the play. New 5-minute candle here at 9 o'clock. Painting starting with a blue, dark blue. But I think that we have movement potential up to 75. My clock is slow, man. Like 2 minutes slow. That's annoying. Like very annoying. I hate clocks that are slow or fast. It honestly drives me nuts. Like when I was a kid, my mom would like set clocks like 5 minutes ahead or like 10 minutes ahead or something like that. Or and I never understood it. It's like, well, you know, then it like gets me motivated to like go and move and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, well, you know, it'll like trick me into thinking that it's time to go now, so that way I leave on time. And I'm like, but don't you just remember that you set it 10 minutes ahead? And then you're like, oh, I got time because it's 10 minutes fast. And then she's like, oh, I guess so. But I don't know. I hate that. Like I want precise clocks. I'm a nerd, I guess, in a lot of ways. But that always irks me. Like incorrect clocks just drive me nuts. There's that pop up to 75. This is a very nice move from 71, 72 area up to 75 over the last like 10 minutes. Peak at 75.50, 75 being the newer line in the sand. So we are working on developing an automated trading system to see if we can automate some of these trades. And essentially the strategy that we're kind of rolling with is on like a 20-second crossover pattern. We'll see how it works out. It's going to be a while yet, though, before I can even get the thing functional to even test it. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, though. So we're on this approach on this 5200 cross on the 5-minute side. 5-minute candles going from 3.3 to 3.3. Now 3.4, so almost flat on the 5-minute side. We're gonna watch out for rejections up at like 75 zone. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, guys. I gotta head out early today, so apologies for starting late and ending early. But I gotta head out. But thank you guys so much for showing up. I very much love and appreciate you all. And you know, once again, if you guys want to take advantage of some of the futures trading platforms that are out there, some of the prop firms, Apex is running 90% off deal right now. There's a link and a coupon code in the description, so you can take advantage of that. Personally, I'm working on the 50K account in Tradeovate on the Tradeovate side. So you have to make this selection if you want Tradeovate or TradingView. You do have to scroll down a little bit more and look for the price that says $187 per month. And then just to give you some clarity, for $187, you'll actually be getting it for $18.70. So 90% off for the first month, and then after that, it goes to $37.40 pre-tax. So it will charge tax based off your local area, but pre-tax will be $37.40 for the 50K account. It's just absolutely, honestly ridiculous to get access to $50,000 worth of equity for $37. Your profit target is $53,000, so you're basically trying to hit $3,000. You get a $500 or $2,500 trailing threshold. One thing I really like about Apex is they give you very large trailing drawdowns, which I really like. I think that's very useful and helpful to traders as well. So this flag ended up playing out, took about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Now we have a new flag forming, as you can see right there. We'll join the bid right there. Off 73 is the intention, and looking to get out of 74. Can jump over here. Big flash down. I wonder if this will be the eagle play, but I don't know that it will, because this is red candles here. Dropping down to 71.50. So immediately we're down pretty heavily in this trade. Yeah, I'm actually going to cut this because you can see that flag failed. So that's one of the reasons why, I say that flags are not necessarily bullish or bearish. They're just flags. It just means a momentum move is inbound. The 50 and the 200 did diverge pretty well, though. They're about $2.50 apart. So there is a reasonable amount of movement there. Okay, I gotta go. Peace out, y'all. Thank you guys so much. Much love and appreciation. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully 7:30. 10:30 market time. Tomorrow's Thursday already. This week went by fast. So yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Let me see what we got on the economic calendar before we bail. That's the economic calendar here. Let's see. Wednesday is today. We've got the Fed Beige Book and the New York Prez. And then Thursday, tomorrow is 420. So I don't know. I don't know if that affects the market or not, but it might. We've got jobless claims tomorrow. We've got the Philly Fed manufacturing survey. We've got existing home sales. So this is, I think this will be pretty important. A lot of analysts, including JP Morgan's chief economic analyst, are saying that the home market is likely to drop. And if you guys recall, a year and a half ago or something like that, it was on a stream from a different YouTuber saying that I believe June 2023 will be sort of the inflection point of the home market, the housing market, and I still kind of stand by that. I still think that the housing market meltdown is likely to happen, and I think it'll happen around June. I think that millennials or Gen Z, I don't really know which one, but whoever was the main buyers from the last housing surge, I think are going to repeat history with 2008. I think that a lot of them will just have it in their psychology, and as a result, it is now in the sort of collective psychology of humanity in the American mind, and I just think that it's going to be a consistent boom bust type thing from now on, at least for this next cycle, potentially for multiple cycles past this in the future. And every time that it happens, I think that a lot of homeowners are going to get hosed. This is a different situation though than 2008 because in this particular situation, the interest rates are significantly higher now, and banks are even losing money to lend. Banks are losing money to lend to houses. So being as that's the case, I think that a lot of people are going to try to hold on to their property and try to weather the storm, even as their equity falls pretty tremendously over time. Anyway, tomorrow we also have leading economic indicators. We've also got Chris Waller speaking. Cleveland Prez. We've got the Dallas Fed, who listens with Dallas Fed. And we've also a lot of Fed meetings tomorrow. A lot of Fed conversations tomorrow. But we also have jobless claims tomorrow. So, and existing home sales. All right, then, Joe. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Thanks so much for being here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.